Nishimoto Hawks. It is the week of September 21st, 2020, and we are going to have another Hawktastic week of distance teaching and learning. We first want to thank all of our parents and families who were able to participate last week in both our parent-teacher organization or PTO meeting, as well as those who attended ELAC. Just remember, your involvement is always welcome, and if you are looking for more ways to get involved, you can always give us a call or shoot us an email. We also want to thank all of our families for their patience last week, as we did have to close our office for a good majority of the week due to the hazardous air quality. We thank you for your patience, and we should be back up and running this week and ready to help you with whatever you need. Meals will continue to go out on Wednesdays. This is one of my favorite times that I get to see some of our families and students face to face, even if it is through the car window. So hopefully you'll be able to drive on through and pick up your meals for the week this week on Wednesday. This week, we are going to continue our celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month. Last week, we began with both an author study in our weekly announcements, as well as some fantastic lunchtime activities led by our counselor, Miss Lyon, focused all about games. I got to join the 5th and 6th grade group last Friday and had a great time learning how to play Basta. It was my first time and I had a great time. We will continue those lunchtime activities all of this week. Here is some information about when your child can participate, and links can be found in Miss Lyon's Google Classroom. Just a reminder that since these sessions are taking place during the students' lunchtime, they are more than welcome to eat their lunch while participating. It's all for fun, just as long as they keep the Chromebook pushed back a little bit from their food, we should be fine. This week, Miss Lyon will be focusing on the people, celebrating influential Hispanic Americans that have made a difference. So our students may learn about people such as Dolores Huerto and Cesar Chavez, who fought for the rights of farm workers right here in California, or Sonia Sotomayor, the very first Hispanic Supreme Court Justice, Roberto Clemente, who was not only a stellar baseball player, but also a human rights activist, Ellen Ochoa, the first Mexican-American in space, who later on became the first Hispanic female director of the United States Space Station, Jorge Ramos, a major anchor on Univision and one of the most influential people in America, or maybe Demi Lovato, who you may know from her roles early on in her career in the Disney Channel, but has later become an activist speaking out against bullying and fighting for equality for all people. Lin-Manuel Miranda, who wrote in and starred in the famous musical Hamilton, winning multiple Tony Awards. Lori Hernandez, a Mexican-American who competed at the 2016 Olympics in Brazil in gymnastics. So your students could learn about these influential people of Hispanic descent or many others this week at lunchtime with Miss Lyon. We also got to talk to Mrs. Rivera this week, who told us a little bit about her Hispanic heritage, how it has shaped her as an individual, and what her and her family do to celebrate and remember their Hispanic heritage. Take a look.
My name is Mrs. Rivera. I was born in Michoacán, Mexico, and my husband is from Guanajuato, Mexico. This is our Mexican heritage. It's very important for us to encourage our children to celebrate our beliefs and traditions so they can understand where their roots are from. When my kids were little, they joined a folklorical dance group where they learned different Mexican dance styles. One of the traditions that our family has is the posadas. The posadas is a Mexican Christmas tradition. It talks about the difficult journey Mary and Joseph had in search of a warm place to stay that night. The posadas begin in December 16 to December 24. During the posadas, our family prays, sings, and has dinner. Another tradition that we have is Dia de Reyes, or the Three Wise Men, which is celebrated on January 6. Our kids place one shoe under the Christmas tree in hopes of receiving a gift. Later that day, we cut a rosca de reyes, which is an oval-shaped bread to symbolize a crown, and a small doll inside represents baby Jesus. The person who gets baby Jesus must host a party on February 2nd, known as Dia de la Candelaria. Another tradition is the quinceañera. A quinceañera is a celebration of a girl's 15th birthday, making her passage from childhood to womanhood. As you can see, our daughter already had her quinceañera. We also celebrate Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead. The Day of the Dead is a celebration of life and death. In our family, we build an altar containing photos, favorite beverages, and foods of our past loved ones. Every summer, we take our kids to different regions of Mexico so they can learn more about the Mexican culture.
And just a reminder, we would love to hear from our families about your Hispanic heritage and how you celebrate that through either activities or traditions. Please send pictures or videos to Erin Falk at maderausd.org, and I'd love to feature them in next week's weekly announcements. It's birthday time! We do have many birthdays that we are celebrating this week, the week of September 21st. So we will start with those celebrating on the 21st. We just have one. A very happy birthday to Brianna A. in Miss Cuevas' class. Also in Miss Cuevas' class, celebrating on the 22nd, happy birthday to Anessa A. Celebrating on the 22nd as well, happy birthday to Brandon L. in Miss Flores' class, Maritza N. in Mrs. Mortier's class, and Gabriella P. in Mr. Yan's class. We have 5 students celebrating on the 23rd. Happy birthday to Edgar A. in Miss Shimshak's class, Alan G. in Miss Flores' class, Rafaela I. in Mrs. McDaniel's class, Sophia S. in Mr. Yan's class, and Roberto S. in Mr. Yan's class. Celebrating on the 24th, happy birthday to Miguel G. in Mrs. Rivera's class, Kaylee M. in Mr. Wattenbarger's class, Layla M. in Mrs. Harper's class, and Isaac M. in Mrs. Valdez's class. We have 3 students celebrating on the 25th. Happy birthday to Jonathan B. in Mr. Yan's class, Kaylee B. in Mrs. Estrada's class, and Kimberly B. in Miss Shimshak's class. Celebrating on Saturday the 26th, happy birthday to Delilah B. in Mr. Gonzalez's class, and Michael C. in Mrs. Stickler's class. And finally, those birthdays being celebrated on Sunday the 27th. Happy birthday to Alexander G. in Mr. Wattenbarger's class, Kayla M. in Mrs. McDaniel's class, Isabella V. also in Mrs. McDaniel's class, and Aiden V. in Mr. Wattenbarger's class. Whew, that was a lot of student birthdays this week. We do have just one very special staff birthday this week. Happy birthday to Ms. Marquecho, one of our county paraprofessionals out in Mr. Contreras' class. So we hope that you have a great birthday too. That is all the announcements that we have for this week. Remember, Nishimoto Hawks don't just fly, we soar. Show respect, offer kindness, act responsibly, and are ready to learn. Let's have another Hawk-tastic week.